Hello and welcome back to the Lightkeeper's Path. I'm so happy you're here and so glad you're on this path with me. Today, I have an amazing, amazing guest. She is so special, near and dear to my heart, Sarah Mitnick. She is a certified meditation teacher with Unplug Meditation, trained under Davidji, a world renowned meditation teacher and author known for making ancient meditation and mindfulness practices accessible to modern life. She is also a sound healer, Reiki practitioner, and founder of a crystal healing practice in Santa Cruz, California. I've had many sessions with her, and I can tell you she is amazing as a healer. After experiencing profound personal grief, meditation became her lifeline, and she now guides others through meditation, sound healing, Reiki, and crystal work to release stress, balance energy, and reconnect with their inner peace and spiritual presence. Please join me in welcoming Sarah for this profound, amazing interview, all meditation. Well, hello, fellow warriors. I'm here today with a very good friend of mine, Sarah. Sarah is an amazing, amazing soul I met 2 years ago. Actually, a little bit more than 2 years ago, almost 2.5, in Carly Weiss, shout out Carly, in one of her EFT tapping classes. And we bonded pretty quickly. We'd go to class and kind of see each other and give each other emotional support just with whatever was going on with life. And it's so funny, so much synchronicity because I started meditating, which she's going to talk about. She's a certified meditator. She took a course. I started meditating like October 2023. And I went to an event at 1440, which is a local retreat center in Santa Cruz County. And it was really beautiful. And I thought, I'm just going to see if they have any meditation on there. And they did. They offer many free community courses. So I started meditating with that. And first I asked the group of friends, hey, does anybody know any meditation stuff? So I started doing that really small. Like I was doing 5 minutes in the morning and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to up it and do 5 minutes at night. Woo! Isn't that fun? I think I worked myself up to 10 minutes. And then literally about 2 years ago to the date, it was like November, December 2023, I started to get into Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I'd be all goo goo gaga with this Sarah. Oh, Joe Dispenza, meditation. Ooh, his weird voice. And the synchronicity of it all is here I have Sarah on my podcast, beautiful Sarah. And on Sunday, I depart to Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat in San Diego. So how beautiful is that? So with that introduction, I just wanted to say hello to the lovely Sarah and ask my first question is, what got you on the path to meditation?
Yeah. Hi, Kim. It's so nice to be here. And I just love the synchronicity of you embarking on a retreat with Joe Dispenza after your beautiful journey. It's so exciting. It feels full circle for you to be going on that adventure. So for me, meditation began with my healing journey.
Mm.
I had a very deep experience with grief. I lost my 7-year old to leukemia. And that kind of just pushed me into a whole realm of healing. I've tried everything on the moon, anything that would make me feel better. As you know, we met in the EFT tapping. And one of the places I found the most sanctuary and the most support was in meditation
Mm.
and going inward and meditating and also connecting to spirit through
Mm.
meditation led me there.
That's wonderful. Well, I know that you took and you're certified through a David G course, and I've done different meditations. I've done Insight Timer. That's a really great app, and it can almost be overwhelming though because there's just so much content. And then I've used the Calm app. I've used the Open app, and now because I'm preparing for Dr. Joe, I do. I'm doing his meditations, but can you talk a little bit about the different types of meditation? Because I was intimidated. I used to always think, ooh, meditation. You just sit there like this, quiet for 20 minutes or an hour, and you don't say anything. My head's going to explode. I can't do this. Are there different types, and can you walk us through that?
Yeah, I love that question because sometimes the idea of meditation can feel really overwhelming to people, but it can really be very simple. I would say one of the most important things I learned from Davidji was that meditating is just doing a pattern interrupt and finding some kind of object of attention. So
Mm.
if you're looking for a meditation, and I personally am very drawn to mantra, so, mantra is just the object of attention for your mind to go to and for your mind to follow. And so, for example, I would do a mantra meditation. My thoughts are there. And another thing I learned was like, we're not our thoughts, we're actually the
Mm.
space between our thoughts. And so, we use
Mm.
these objects of attention, like a mantra, to have our mind sort of follow and allow these thoughts to just move by and move through.
Wow.
And there's lots of different kinds of objects of attention. You know, it could be a really big whiff of an essential oil just to bring you into that present moment.
Mm.
And then it doesn't always have to be completely silent. It can be movement of sound and listening. It can be a guided. It can be moving of the chakras while you're listening to someone else. Your object of attention is what is bringing your mind into the meditation.
God, that's so interesting. I love I love this conversation, and I love that explanation because I didn't know that. Object of, would you say
Attention.
concentration?
Have an object of attention that
Wow,
you're
that makes so
on, like
much sense.
the mantra, or
Yeah.
yeah.
So is it called kirtan? That's where you do like the singing and the chanting. Is that considered that's considered medit
Yes, so that's mantra chanting. That's
mantra?
kirtan. And
Okay.
that's like the spiritual path of yoga. And we
Right.
connect into the divine through yoga, where we're chanting very ancient mantras, where I personally feel very spiritually connected through mantra and chanting.
So when you do those chants, when you do the chanting, it kind of gets you in the zone because you're like doing this. But does it also bring in other, higher beings, would you say? Or do those mantras, they're probably maybe in a different language or something? Or can you explain it a little bit more?
Yeah, a lot of the mantras are in Sanskrit. You can do any mantra. You know, you could do the
Okay.
mantra I am.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
you could do any kind of mantra. And I think that it does, it's whatever you are open to, your
Mm-hmm.
heart will open up to. I find that the mantra for me, and I think different people have different objects of attention that bring them to the most open heart that you can have. And when your heart is open, you can be very spiritually connected. And yes, I do believe divine beings are around me and surrounding me in those moments. That may not be true for everyone.
Yeah. Wow. That's so interesting. And then you also talked about, because now, I've been well, okay, spiritual journey started about 3 years ago, January 2023, so almost 3 years. But really deep the last 2 plus years. And now things are starting to click. You know what I mean? You keep hearing and hearing and hearing, and then all of a sudden the puzzle pieces start to click. So when you're talking about that space in between, can you talk a little bit about that more? Because Dr. Joe really talks about that.
Yeah, I think that's such an
I did
important piece of meditation.
I
And
didn't understand it. Is it like just block out everything else, or what? How do you explain it?
well, you're never gonna block out your thoughts. Thoughts are like normal and natural. And what happens is like the more you practice, the larger the space between your thoughts becomes.
Mm,
And you know, when you're just starting out, you might have these little spaces between thoughts. Thoughts are always going by. The more you practice, and it really is a practice, the bigger the space becomes between. And I love that Davidji always says, I'll see you in the gap. And the gap is the space between your thoughts when we're meditating. And that's where you're going to have divine connection, if that's what you're looking for. You'll get
right.
reduced anxiety and calm. And you'll realize that you have so many thoughts in a minute. They're just flying by, flying by. And the more you do the practice, the space between your thoughts becomes bigger.
God, that's so helpful because I've been, ramping up on doing his Dr. Joe's meditations leading up to the retreat. And I was ready to post. I'm in all these different groups, and the Telegram app, the group chat is just blowing up because everybody's starting to arrive. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say, okay, so I'm doing this, but I still have thoughts. Am I doing it right? Because,
Yes, you are.
okay.
Absolutely, you are. We all
Okay.
have
Thanks.
thoughts. Davidji has thoughts. He's been meditating forever and ever, and he tells me
Yeah.
everyone has thoughts. And it's one of the misconceptions of meditation is that you are supposed to have no thoughts. That's absolutely
Right.
not correct. You are human. You have thoughts. When you have a thought, you're supposed to bring yourself back to the object of attention. That could simply
Okay.
be your breath. Simply
Right.
breath can be the object of attention. In many
Yeah.
quiet meditation, it is your breath. And you're breathing. And once, now I'm doing my, my laundry list of things. My mind's going over here. Come
Bye bye.
back to the object of attention and back to the breath. And you just keep going. It's
Mm,
totally normal. And I think some people think, oh, I can't meditate. I have all these thoughts. We all have those thoughts. Meditation is the practice of making a larger space between thoughts. And you always will have thoughts.
that's so helpful. And now I'm really learning about like the heart opening and the heart coherence and all. I
Yes.
didn't understand it before, but I was in a different place.
We're always all learning all the time, Kim, and it's so awesome how open you are to everything and you're
Oh,
always
thank you.
learning things. I just love that about you.
Oh, what did you say? I overlearn?
No, you're always learning
Oh,
things.
always learning. No, thanks. I overlearn too.
You're always opening up to new
Yeah.
things.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
And it's just such a beautiful part of your soul.
oh, thank you so much. Well, it's like I said, things in the last I've had some pretty big things, but really clicking, and yeah, it's so interesting. The meditation, and God, I really love all your description and your insights because, like I said, it can be so daunting. And, basically, my podcast has helped people find their inner light when they're in the storm. And, I had my healing journey with illness and just life circumstances. But, you don't have to have that to have a lot of people are just trying to survive or they're in that darkness and trying to find that inner light. And in one of my earlier episodes, I had three pillars, and the first was running, the second was EFT, and then meditation. And isn't it funny how you just listen to those little voices, and for some reason, I kept getting meditate, meditate. I was doing the 1440.org free 6-minute version.
Love it. And it's perfect, whatever you are doing. If you can do a little meditation, that's just as valuable as sitting there for 45 minutes. I think
Yeah,
having the practice, like what you do, if it's 3 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, whatever
yeah,
you can fit into your schedule is very valuable. I think it's about having that constant practice of reframing,
right.
wiring your brain, and then
Yeah,
your brain starts to understand that that's where you're going. It can be 3 minutes.
yeah.
It can be a morning you have more time, you can go full on chakra balancing 25 minutes, but
Hmm.
you really only need a reframe like what you're doing, even 6 minutes is perfect.
So, have you ever done? Now they have silent retreats. Would that be considered a form of meditation? It would be, right?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't done silent retreat. I
Okay.
think that's where, like, the one that I just went on was like a bhakti group retreat where we were
Hmm.
all chanting and meditating together. Although I had some time where I did go just personally inward and do silent meditation on my own. Um, but I haven't done just full silent retreat.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
really thrive on the connection of the community, and that's been a big part of my healing was to actually meditate and connect divinely in community. And for me, that's a
Mm.
big, powerful piece of healing.
That's a good insight. I didn't think of it because I was kind of like thinking, "Ooh, it might be kind of nice to do a silent retreat." But then, yeah, you're completely because
Yeah,
some
I mean,
people.
I think that would be beautiful too. I think there's value in both of those things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did you have any highlights from your most recent retreat with the
Um,
chanting?
yes, I mean, I just absolutely loved being at the ashram. I went to an ashram in Taos,
Oh,
New Mexico.
wow. Mm-hmm.
And it was a Hanuman temple where they have some of the ashes of Ram Dass. Ram Dass was
Wow.
Be Here Now chanting and singing we were doing. And it was also the Maharaji's birthday when we were there. And so I was with so many beautiful spiritual people who really prioritize connection and grounding and love and being to
Mm.
like the utmost degree, and to be surrounded with that energy and moving into the temple and seeing pictures of the Maharaji and the Hanuman, and then sitting in front of the Hanuman with my kirtan teacher. I play the harmonium, and my teacher is Govindas, and he was one of the leaders on the retreat. He was sitting in front of the big statue of Hanuman, and he was playing, and we were all singing and chanting in the temple on a very spiritual native land. And it was like, it gives me goosebumps to talk about. It was absolutely
Wow.
mind blowing, connecting. And I felt like I had on that property 3 or 4 very specific signs for my daughter. And
Oh,
I feel like it was just such an open channel and so beautiful to be there in such a spiritual place with spiritual people and just moving all the emotions of grief, which being able to hold the pain and also find this joy and this light and this love. It was so transforming to be in a place where I could actually feel both these things together. I could feel the pain and I could feel the joy and the love and the light just like bursting out of myself and of others. And it felt like I had really reached a pivotal point where I'm able to balance the light and the dark and really feel and absorb the light.
wow. That's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Sarah. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When you described that, I had the whole visual. That's so. Well, if you're
We're singing
watching,
lots of Hanuman chants.
what's that? Say that again.
We're singing lots of the Hanuman chants, which
Mm.
is the monkey in the yogi traditions, where he the whole temple was the Hanuman temple. Most of the chants we were singing there were about Hanuman.
Wow. Whew, that's amazing. Well, I'm so happy that you got to go. Congratulations on your next level and connecting in such a beautiful, harmonious way. That's like so amazing. That's
And it was
definitely
so
next level.
powerful too with all the singing and chanting, because I do believe in all the vibrational healing and the sounds that these old ancient chants that we're singing are also, relaxing the vagus nerve, and we're singing and it just like it feels like full mind, body, spirit, relaxation and connection. It's pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
definitely. And you could have been kind of rewiring some ancient DNA too. That was
Oh,
probably also some of the healing. Because some of the trauma or grief, with whatever it is, if we don't get deep in that DNA and heal that, we can do all these other things. But it's kind of a fine line, but that's also needs to be tended to, if that makes sense.
makes perfect sense. And I love that because it felt like being on ancient land and singing ancient mantras. There was definitely a long line of spiritual connection behind me.
Oh my gosh, that is like so amazing.
It's powerful. And
Wow,
healing.
you did. What's that?
It's very powerful in healing.
Oh, that is so amazing. So now I also saw Davidji. He has retreats. Have you ever entertained the idea, I think in Southern California, of doing one of his?
He does. I would love to do that. The only reason I haven't gone is because of timing and
Mm,
finances at certain points. A lot of his retreats are during some of my holidays in the fall, but
yeah.
I would definitely love to do that. He has retreats in a place he calls the sweet spot of the universe, which is Carlsbad, California. And
Oh,
he has a beautiful place that he rents on the beach, and everyone meditates together. You're on the ocean. And I do have friends that have gone, and it just looks powerful and lovely. And to be in the essence of his energy too is a gift. He's
yeah.
a really beautiful person.
Well, he looks pretty real deal meditator guy. Not, and I don't just mean by the hair and the beard and the
Got a big
attire.
beard.
Yeah, all of
Awesome.
that.
Yes.
There's no coloring, there's no cut going on there because I looked at some of his retreats maybe about a year ago, and I go, yeah, I saw that it was like in Carlsbad, some amazing spot, but it's just you get your own food, you get your own accommodations. It's not like frou-frou retreat like when we hear like retreat. It's you go there and you meditate and you do all your other stuff on your own. So
Yeah.
that's nice. To me, that means, hey, he's just doing his expertise. I kind of appreciate that.
He is an amazing expert, and he's highly meditated for sure.
Do you know how he got, or has he just always been into meditation?
I do know a little bit about his story. He worked in New York City in like finance, and
Mm.
was doing the grind. And when 9/11 happened, uh,
Oh,
he had kind of a spiritual awakening of what am I doing? And I remember his story he told about may not be exactly right because I'm doing it from memory here, but he there was like a bum on the street that said something to him like, what's the purpose of your life? And he was like, oh, what is the purpose of my life? And he's got 9/11 coming down around him, and um, he decided that what he was doing was not what he wanted the purpose of his life to be. And his wife had said, there's this guy named Deepak Chopra that maybe you should go on a retreat with him in England and figure out what the purpose of your life is. And so I remember his story being that he did that, and he went and he was really moved by that retreat. And he ended up working with Deepak Chopra and running his meditation center. So he was in charge of the education center for the Deepak Chopra organization in San Diego, which was also in Carlsbad, for years. And then he decided that he was going to start his own meditation academy and his own thing, branching off from there. And it's funny because it's probably like 15 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. I had gone down to San Diego and
mm.
stayed at this resort that was part of the Deepak Chopra Center. And I remember popping in. I was kind of just into yoga at the time, doing some yoga. I was like, oh, they have a meditation class. I'll just try it out. So I took it. And looking back, I know it was him because it was this guy sitting there with this beard and this Om thing on him. And I remember taking his meditation class, and it really feels like maybe some kind of shadowing to what was coming to my future, which I didn't know at the time.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it was really interesting. So I think, met him, not knowingly who he was, quite a few years ago at the Deepak Chopra Center for a meditation class. And then we circled around, and now he's been a huge part of my life and my journey and my beliefs in meditation and healing.
Wow, that's amazing. So, does Deepak also have something in near like Paradise Valley, Arizona? Another
Probably.
center?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, he's pretty huge. He's kind of all over, I think. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if they still have that same center that I've gone to in.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. Talk about coming full circle. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty wild when I made that connection. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
synchronicities.
Yeah. So many synchronicities. Well, I find that with meditation, I my intentions for the day actually happen. Be present and be intentional.
Yeah.
You don't have
Absolutely.
all this, and you can get a lot more done because you're just calm.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, presence was the key to surviving. So for me, it was I feel like meditation did save my life in that
Mm.
realm where with my grief journey, if I would be too much in the past, kind of reeling that way, I was very unhappy and very sad. If I was reeling to the future, I was having so much stress and anxiety that the only way for me to really survive and function was to bring myself into the present. And that was one of the biggest learning things and why I was so drawn to Davidji, because for him, that's what it is. It's like just you're being in the present moment now. And that was what I always come back to when I am reeling. Not that I don't. I feel this thing. I'm out. I'm like, and always just every opportunity you have is a moment to come back to your center. I believe that. And to come
Yeah.
back to your presence and your breath. And when you are reeling any direction, just taking a pause, a deep breath is probably the most effective thing that for me.
Yeah. Same. Absolutely. Same thing. Exactly. God, that's so funny. Well, then when you're in the present moment, because the present moment is really all we do have is right
Right.
now, right here. We don't have the past. We don't, unless you're timeline shifting or doing some ancestral clearing work.
We can
But that,
visit these realms for sure.
but that's another
I want to stay
conversation.
there.
But yeah, yeah, we want to stay there, right? Wherever it is. Oh my God. I was just there yesterday or the
Oh
day
yeah.
before, every day.
The astro travel.
Oh my God, I love astral travel. Another conversation. But no, it's true because then when you are in that present moment, you hear the whispers.
Yes.
And the whispers coming from past loved ones or your angels or your guides or spirit or Jesus or whoever you're hearing from. And basically the universe is always pointing us in the right direction because they want us to win. They're on our side. Took me a long
Yeah.
time to realize that. What's that?
I said I just love that. I love being reminded of that because I believe that as well.
Yeah, but when you're in that 3D matrix, it takes so much work to get out of that. At least for me it did. I was stuck in it for it's literally layers and layers and layers. And then it's not, at least for myself, it's not so much the layers and layers of the 3D, it's the subconscious of all these belief systems that we've acquired because of just life. And it doesn't even have to be trauma. It could just be an absolute misunderstanding as a 6-year-old from your siblings that, or your parents that said something the wrong way. And it was just all misinterpretation.
Yeah.
Or it could be 3 years ago when your own child said something to you and it was misinterpretation. Or the grocery clerk.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be that deep. Isn't that funny? But then when you go back and you reel it back, that grocery clerk, it's actually then your parents, and then you go, oh, wow, it was a lifetime ago. So, anyway, all that deep, deep unraveling. I did a really deep session on Monday night, and then my current coach, she checked in with me. She said, Kim, how are you doing? I said, I feel like I just scrubbed my subconscious level clean.
That's
How,
awesome. They call it washing the windows.
oh, is that what they call it?
In Kirtan, actually, they say, like Jayutal always says, doing the mantra is like washing the windows of your soul.
Oh, I love
You
that.
wash the windows in your way.
Yeah. Yeah, because it felt like it was just like a Brillo pad just scrubbing.
Oh,
And the next day it felt so clean.
yeah. Looking free and light.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, what's going to come at me and test me to see if it's, super clean or isn't that always fun when you have those little testers?
Right?
Okay. I don't know if this is too woo for some of our audience or and some are just like, "Oh yeah, give me more, give me more." Yeah, send me a comment, DM me and say which what more you want to talk about. Along
Bring
with
the blue.
I know, I love the woo. But it's so funny because they don't really. But there's this isn't there's like a weird line between it's the whole awakening when you get awake. I didn't even understand what that meant when you get awake. The best was 2+ years ago, Sarah, what does download mean? We're in an EFT class. Sarah, the last couple days I keep hearing people say downloads. What does that mean? And oh, it's you're getting the message. Oh, I've been doing that for 20+ years. Like, okay, I just didn't listen.
I think you're finally making a little space there, Kim. You're making some space between your thoughts to get from some of the soul messages that needed to
Yeah.
come through.
I know. Isn't it so funny? Oh my
Yeah.
God. But well, now
So,
Sarah's also an amazing Reiki practitioner with crystals.
yes.
And I'm just going to bring that up because I've had some amazing healings. Amazing. If in fact, if anybody's ever in the Santa Cruz County, come look her up, send me a note, and I'll send you her way because she's amazing. Do you meditate to? Because when I go, I think I've had 4 healings with you, and every time it's perfect. Sarah is so connected. She's like, I don't know. Thought I was going to do this, but I was drawn to these crystals and I'm drawn to these colors and da 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 da. I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's always just so perfect and right on. Do you do like a deep meditation before or the night before? Or can you tell us how you prep?
Sure. Yeah, I always do a cleansing and clearing before every session. And I do a dropping in meditation for myself to be centered and welcome in my guides and spirit to help me uh, work with the energy intuitively. And so that's why every session is so different. And also the energy that you bring every time is going to be very different each day. And
Yeah.
so working with that as well, always changing and evolving. Um, yeah.
Yeah, they're so amazing. Wow. Now, how many times do you meditate during a day? Or do you have like a regimen? And do you have your favorite meditations or you just kind of whatever I feel like?
Well, I do. I meditate every day, and I do follow what Davidji has recommended. which is RPM. Okay,
Oh,
so morning
oh, RPM.
rise, you pee, you meditate. So that's the first thing. Is that's the first thing I do, and I have to say that's been one of the most helpful things when after I was like experiencing really heavy grief. Every single morning, I would wake up in more of a fight or flight mode, like just almost like with a lack of breath, like I'm awake. Oh, I want to, and that's why I would do this rise, pee, meditate process where it could be 2 or 3 minutes, depending on, if I had to rush children out of the house, or I would sit and do like a 25-minute chakra balancing, a morning meditation. I do love Davidji's morning meditation he has on Insight Timer because it
Mm,
goes through asking you the sacred questions, who am I, things like that, and sort of reframing my brain just to the morning. I move out of fight or flight, go into a more relaxed state of what's really present for me. And it'll be, who am I? And then messages of gratitude, some mindfulness where we're may all beings be cared for, and some of that, and also a mantra. So he has sort of different, like it's like four different sections of different objects of attention. So you have like
mm,
sacred questions as an object of attention. You have a
okay.
mantra as an object of attention. And sort of, if I have the time, it's like a 20-minute session, I will do that in the morning. And sometimes I just go with what I feel. And sometimes I take out my harmonium and I sing some mantras.
Mm.
I like to journal as well, but I do always do a quick or a longer meditation every morning. So that's the rise, pee, meditate. And then in the afternoon, he says that you should really wash the dishes. And so washing the dishes is between like 4 and 7. I do some kind of meditation, even if it's in my car. I'll do like this meditation that I love is just called the let go meditation, where I visualize a infinity sign, and with
Mm.
the breath, I follow the infinity sign to the words let
Oh,
go. And I'll do that for 3 minutes if I need something quick. If I have more time, I may sit in my living room and do a longer, maybe a chakra balancing or spiritual connection, a different, I really like guided meditations. Um, and of course, I love the ones by Davidji. And also, my Reiki master is also on Insight Timer. Her name's Just Be Inspired. So I love
mm.
hers as well. So
Oh,
yeah, and then
wow.
in the evenings, I like to listen to some kind of sound bath before I go to sleep, where I'm listening to different kinds of sounds and vibrations to relax my body. But for the very specific meditations, I do one in the morning, right as I wake up, one between 4 and 7, and then I like the variety in the evening of something relaxing, mantra or sound bath.
Oh, wow, that's so great. Do you feel like you get something out of the, sound bath on, like, Insight Timer? 'Cause we don't feel the vibration? Is it just, like, because it's the sound? Or how does that work?
I do. I would go sometimes I go on Spotify too, and I have really good headphones. So I feel with the headphones that I am feeling some of those vibrations and sounds. I also have some specific apps that are like for the vibrational healing. So it's kind of like
Mm.
your headphones. So I do feel it. And also I play my sound bowls sometimes at night. Maybe I'll play my hand pan or my sound bowls myself, where I'm actually experiencing the sound bowls around me.
Yeah, I also forgot that's right, she's a sound bath master. I've been to some of her sound baths, they're amazing. Every time I come, she's got a new fun instrument.
I love all the sound and vibration. I feel like they all are just such beautiful tools that work together. Whereas
Yeah.
meditation is really kind of the lifeline through all of the stuff I do, where can bring meditation into my Reiki, into my crystal healing, and into my sound baths, where I feel like
Mm.
it's really um, a big part of everything I do.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. We went to this one really lovely event, and it was in a labyrinth field. And she was in the middle of the labyrinth, and it was lavender playing her sound bath. Oh, it was obviously outside. It was so beautiful. Wasn't that an amazing day?
That really was. That was such a beautiful experience to be able to play all the instruments in the middle of a labyrinth surrounded by lavender. And I don't know if you know this, but lavender is a smell that my daughter who passed, it was her favorite smell. And when she was in the hospital, she would If she had high blood pressure, she would say to the nurses, "Wait, I got to get my lavender." And she
Oh,
would smell her lavender and her blood pressure numbers would come down.
oh,
So I like
wow.
really believe in the relaxation of the lavender medically on numbers and things. I was like, wow. And so it just felt really beautiful to be playing the sound and the vibrations amongst all the beautiful lavender and see
Mm.
friends around there, having this beautiful community walking the labyrinth. Yeah, it was magical.
It
It's
was magical.
exactly
And
where I wanted to
I
be.
didn't know that about your daughter. And did she actually like the smell of lavender?
Yes, it's her
She
favorite.
did. Wow. Okay.
My best
Interesting.
friend had sent it to her in the hospital,
Uh-huh.
and she just got obsessed with it. And then she saw it changing her numbers medically, and so she was obsessed with it and just loved it. I do wear lavender all the time, which I'm sure you've smelled on me before.
You always smell amazing.
And I do love the presence that when I take, I rub my hands together and just big whiff of lavender, I feel
Mm-hmm.
just present in myself and connected.
Wow. Well, I remember the bees at the labyrinth. There were so the lavender was pretty tall. It was like anywhere for sometimes up to 4 feet tall when you were walking through it. And there were these bees, and it was so amazing. It was like another level sensory experience because you had to walk through the bees on the path as they were buzzing,
Mm.
in the lavender. You probably felt that because there was just so much sensory overload going on there. That was amazing.
But you could almost hear a slight buzzing, which I
You
kind of love
yes.
because there is this meditation breath that they call bumblebee breath. And it reminded
Oh,
me of that, where it's like a humming that you do that helps relax your body. And I was just thinking, how beautiful is that? It's like nature's humming, right? Like with us.
yeah. They were definitely, you're right. There was like a constant buzz. I forgot
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were just there and got all the marigolds, but it wasn't in the labyrinth. And those, those marigolds, boy, do they hold energy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow. They
Yes.
were pretty potent. Got 3 plants. I had them in my house. I had to put them outside because it was a little too potent in my
Very
house.
fragrant. Yeah.
Oh yeah, very, very, very strong. Wow, that's well so fun. I love hearing all your different little meditation tips and the description. You've helped me so much just kind of understand a little bit more, especially with the thoughts because I was like, "Oh no, I mean, I've heard that no meditation you're not failing, but still, oh, here's another question for you. Okay, so I know that I get to the level because I didn't understand what drop in. You just haven't been around. I haven't seen you for a while. I was going to say Sarah, what does drop in mean? But I think I finally understand it.
You know how to
Basically,
drop.
from elimination of like, what are the words around the sentence of drop in?
Mhm.
A current person I'm working with, she goes, okay, let's drop in. I'm like, I finally asked, I said, can you tell me what drop in means? Because I don't really understand. Even though we've been doing it for 6 months, what does drop in mean? What is your definition of drop in, Sarah?
Oh, mine is centering. You're dropping into your true soul. So you're dropping in, you're centering yourself. You're going to begin a meditation. For me, it's even dropping into a portal of
Oh, yeah.
different, a
Yeah.
new space, a new mind, opening up the heart, opening up to the space between,
Right.
entering the
Right.
gap,
What's that?
entering into the gap.
I love that. Entering into the gap. So in regards to that, I'm trying to think here. Now, did I lose my did I lose my question? Because I was so present with you on that last one. My question was, okay, here it is. It came back to me. Good. This is a good one. So I'm deep into meditation. So on this retreat, I can't wait to follow up with you. It'll be so interesting. Some of the meditations are up to 4 or 5 hours. It's like you're just lying on the floor there. It'll be crazy. It'll be great. So I've done up to like 57 minutes. And there's this one, and I did it super early this morning because I got up pretty early. So it was like 5:30 this morning. It was like 57 minutes. And I know that, and it was all about the heart dropping in, dropping in. But
Mhm.
I got into that and I feel like all the buzzing and I feel that. But then again, like I had the different thoughts kind of coming through and I'm like, okay, go. You're not supposed to be here. Well, not necessarily those words, but you know what I mean? Still being present. But I don't know if I necessarily get, like some people get visuals and they get messages. I don't know if I necessarily get that. Do you? Like what's supposed to happen when you get like my body is buzzing. I know I know I'm in that other realm. I know that.
Yeah, so I do, but not always. I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely am very visual. Once I'm into that portal, I can see colors and different things through the third eye. Um,
Okay.
but that's not to say I don't have to do it for 5 hours to get there.
Right.
And some days I'm not there. So it's really independent of just meditating. Do you always get there? For
Yeah.
me, that's no. For sometimes it just reduces my stress,
Yeah.
and other times it is opening my portal up, and I think that might depend on where I am that day in that moment, if that's what I'm wanting or open to, or what I'm being guided into.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I think the whole goal with there is that you get to the other, let's see, would be even beyond 5D. It's probably 6, 7, 8, 9D where you can manifest because everything's just out of this 3D world.
I would
And
say that I think breath work is something that's really powerful to work with that. If you're really wanting to open up the portal and see and visualize and have more things coming through the time that you're not having the other thoughts, that
hmm
breath work is really powerful for that. It can help you
yeah,
move those places. I love Kundalini for that. Um, and after maybe a Kundalini yoga and then a little bit of meditation, things feel wide open and very colorful for me.
wow, that's amazing. Yeah, he incorporates breath work with his meditations and he starts with the root and goes all the way up to the top. And then, yeah, he does the pineal gland. That's the pineal gland meditation. I'm trying to think of what does he call that when you're into the unknown? Yeah, get to the unknown. I,
No,
yeah,
basically
I was
that
there for, yeah, I was
higher
there.
self. I mean, there's so many names for that same place.
Yeah, the unknown is basically where all the opportunity lies, right?
Yeah.
Which makes absolute sense because then you're completely present when you think about it if you come full circle, right? Because if you're doing something based on history or based on what you think you want to have happen, then you kind of miss the boat on many opportunities that could be right there in front of you. I guess that's the message, right? Is that the message?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you wanted to kind of put it in a box and label it like layman's terms.
Well, it's good to do that, just to bring it down to like make it simple and understandable. It doesn't have to always be so
No.
complicated.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be so big and grandiose. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. Any other last little tips that you want to give our listeners?
I just wish you the best time on your adventure. I can't wait to hear about your Joe Dispenza workshops and what you're doing
Yeah.
about meditation. I'm sure you're going to be dropping in and really experiencing some new things that you're going to find through meditation. I think it's really
Yeah.
beautiful.
I'm
Uh,
so excited.
I really want to just tell everyone that I think that healing is possible, even with the deepest, most hardest things, and that
Mm.
meditation is a really beautiful, healthy avenue to reach that.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. You're amazing.
Oh,
Thank you so much. And thanks for everybody listening today. Appreciate you and being on with us and being on this journey on the Lightkeeper's path.
thank you so much, Kim. What a beautiful time.
Oh, thank you.